Hey guys, it's Albathium back with another video for Black Myth Wukong, and this time I'm gonna be showing you how to beat the Flowing Sands royalty. Now here's the thing, this is a very particular boss fight and you can actually miss out on a pretty damn great reward, but we are gonna be covering that, and you know how this goes. Before I even think about asking you to click that like or subscribe button for me, please allow me a chance to earn that from you. And with that being said, well, let's get in on this. And here you can see all the things that I actually have upgraded if you kind of wish to maybe copy this. The focus on all of this is to just increase my damage, especially when it comes to the, immobilization. That is absolutely essential. These two and the third one, they are absolutely essential because immobilize is just going to be our bread and butter. Now also when it comes to transformations, I made it so that the might decay while transformed is a little bit slowed down. And for the equipment, there's really nothing special here. Just make everything that is as best as possible that you can have. Wandering Wicked, this thing is absolutely amazing. And when it comes to the potions, these are absolutely going to be amazingly handy in both reducing damage and increasing our own. And the way we're gonna be starting this boss fight is by popping all of these little items and just be ready. Now he will always open with the same move, and this is actually extremely easy to dodge. Just go underneath him or diagonally as long as you are moving in the opposite direction of him. Now you saw this moment right here. I'm going to rewind and pause, because after he does this move, he is always ready to attack yet again. And this is when I immobilize him. And because he was about to attack me, he is going to be taking more damage through our upgrades. And this is also just your opportunity to make sure that you are using the wicked and look at that damage. Now, what I meant by saying is that you can actually miss out on some items is if you kill the king, the father. Now, you can absolutely ignore this guy and just focus on the prince, but in this particular part of the tutorial, I'm just gonna be telling you how to actually beat this guy, because he is more dangerous, far more dangerous. Now, all of his attacks are incredibly heavily telegraphed, and every time he does an attack like this, or well, I actually thought he was going to be chucking that. Every time he does this, he is going to be following it up with at least one more attack. Now, you need to be also careful with this guy, because a lot of the times the body movement he does, it may actually signify like he is going to attack again, but he will not. Now, when you are using Immobilize, it is always, if you can, obviously, to do it at a moment before he attacks. Always, every time he does an attack like this, do not rush in to attack yet again. He will always have, I say again, at least one more attack, and he gives you a really nice window to just go in after that and keep pummeling him. He is not going to be standing that long after you kind of administer your form of justice on him, and while he is doing these things, maybe leaving a little bit of room between him and you is a good idea, because he is always going to be doing some sort of a very heavily telegraphed attack, I say again, and you can make a best judgment when to swoop in, dish out some damage, and then just pull out again. But now we're actually going to be covering how to deal with this, that you do not kill the father, because if you kill the father, this guy just becomes enraged and so much heavier hitting and just crazier, more difficult to deal with. And how do we actually deal with this boss fight so that you do claim the reward? Well, you are gonna be just focusing on the heavy guy until he is almost dead. As little as possible of the HP that you can leave for this guy is going to be very beneficial. And then after that, you are simply going to be switching targets. The little guy laid down the punishment, and he actually does do, take a lot more damage, obviously being so small. And one thing that you can do, so you don't have to pay attention to the big guy a lot, maybe immobilize him while you are punishing the little guy and just look at that amount of damage. Now, you do not need to leave on the little guy so little HP like I did earlier, because you might actually kill him. And this is your cue to use your transformation, transformation, and just in 2 fell swoops, you clean up both of them. And this means that you can claim your reward. You are now going to be getting that spirit of the big guy, which you otherwise wouldn't have gotten. And it would be honestly a shame, because the more options you have in your arsenal, the easier it might be later down the road to deal with some bosses, and having more options is always good. Guys, this is Albethium. Hopefully this helps you a lot. Let me know in the comments, and I will be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.